Hi everybody, my name is Kristen Hinkson and I am a high ticket closer. Now, I didn't start that way. Actually, I do paralegal work, but that doesn't mean that's who I am. You see, before HTC, I have had a typical kind of 9 to 5 job, went in every day, collected a paycheck. I used to go to college, which is how I got my bachelor's degree in legal studies. And it was a challenge to push yourself through, to seek new things, and always seek for something more. But when I got there, it wasn't exactly the light at the end of the tunnel. It was kind of a roadblock. I didn't really know what else to do. I didn't know really where I wanted to go. I just was like, is this what I'm supposed to do the rest of my life? Do this kind of job for 30 to 50 years. That did not sound appealing. And the more I kept thinking about it, I was like, why would anybody want to do the same job for like 30 years to then retire to maybe enjoy what life you have left? Maybe. Because you can die between now and then and not get nearly what you want done. So I wanted to do something different, but I didn't know what. Now, you're probably watching this video with a little skepticism, like, okay, she's being paid to do this, she's being told to do this. Actually, no, we're not. Because we're doing this because we actually believe in the program. Otherwise, there's no reason for me to actually do a testimonial. I'm not getting paid. I'm actually in season 8 right now. We're just about to be graduating. And before HTC, it really was a struggle to deal with the fact that I'm going to have to do a paralegal job or go back to school, get in more debt than before. Now, don't get me wrong, I didn't really have it too bad because at the same time I did have quite a few bills, and I did have some credit card debt, but I had a lot more student loan debt, probably close to $47,000 worth of student loan debt. I started going through and I found Dan Lok through a YouTube channel called Improvement Pill. And when I actually looked into it, I saw the webinar. It was over my head. I had no idea what he was talking about. I was confused. I had no idea what I was going to be getting myself into if I did it. And I had no idea if that's really then a right fit for me. I actually had to step away from it for a little while. And when I came back and redid it, it clicked. It made sense. Because if you watched the webinar already, if you haven't, you may want to go ahead and do that. You can reach out to support. They can give you the link for that. And if you haven't seen that, he talks a lot about what closing is, that closing isn't sales, but then he kept saying that you're selling stuff, but it's not sales. Like, he always made sure to emphasize that it's not sales. After I thought about it, I got it. That I was like, okay, it's not sales as in a salesperson. We're trying to match people up with a product that can change their lives and actually improve their lives for the better. And just so happens we get a byproduct of money from it. Now, it's a 7-week program that I had to go through, and it's very intense. You have to put a lot of work into it. Now, I was working 8 to 5 Eastern Standard Time. And because I'm on the East Coast, I'm actually in Pennsylvania, in the United States. And with working 8 to 5, I had to do the assignments. I had to attend class. Now, class for Eastern Coast will be 9 p.m. And they were scheduled to go about 3-4 hours, but sometimes they went 5 or 6. So if you do the math, I was up till about maybe 2-3 o'clock in the morning But then also talking with my fellow HTC brothers and sisters, I was up probably till about 3:30, 4 o'clock. And then I had to get up at like 6:30 and go back to my job. You know, before I started, it was fairly decent to go to work. You know, it wasn't too bad. But actually, now that I've seen a better way, and I know that there's an easier way to make money and have more freedom, it is a struggle to go to work and do what I'm supposed to do. Now, during this transition process, you'll see in the HTC community when you sign up that there's going to be these things called booms. Now, I had no idea what this meant. None. Okay. So I'm going in and I'm seeing boom this, boom that. But most of them, I was like, most of them seemed attached to money. But I kept looking. I saw some that said personal booms. And I was like, what? Booms are basically those moments where the teachings clicked, that it actually took effect, that you applied it and got huge results. And from probably week 2, I started getting my personal booms. Now, of course, I wasn't getting the financial booms because I just didn't feel comfortable enough to try to go out and use any skills, because the first 2 weeks he likes to do on mindset. So wasn't exactly ready to go out. But when I was, there was more different kinds of booms than just personal booms. Now, the first couple were just plainly looking at my life and seeing how the way I was living is probably one of the main reasons that I didn't have really a whole lot of money coming in. Not because I didn't want the money. I mean, we all want money, right? I mean, that's why we're here in the first place. But at the same time, my environment was not that great. So I had to figure out, I can't change a lot of the environment depending on what you consider part of your environment, but I can change still a pretty good amount of it. So I started taking action and realized that even some of the things like cleaning my room that seemed very mundane, I didn't want to do it. And, you know, your mom always tried to say, you know, you cleaned your room, you know, it make you feel better, but it never really clicked. So one of my booms that I had was that the one time after class, I was feeling really charged. Ironic, since it was like 2:30 in the morning, I was feeling really charged. And I was like, I need to take action. How can I take action? So I actually started cleaning my room. And as I did it, it clicked. Cleaning my room doesn't necessarily mean it'll make me feel better, although that could happen. The part that made it different for me is that how can you even bring more stuff into your room if you don't get stuff out of the way? Same thing with money. How can you bring more money into your life if you don't get all the negative stuff out of it? And it started clicking. And then I was like, oh, now I'm excited to clean my room. Maybe not jumping up and down for joy, but still more excited than when I started before. As things went on, I've noticed that the relationship with my mom, because right now I live in the basement of my mom's house, but even the relationship with me and my mom, I'm seeing it. Like, if this is where my life was at, where it's like pretty aligned, you know, you can see some differences because we're different people. I'm seeing it like this. That everything that you would see before, you're seeing it more articulated, you're seeing it more projected on exactly what's going on. So when you get this, the problem then is you want to show everybody, you want to share it with everybody, but not everybody's ready to see it. As the weeks got on, some of the other booms that I had were a lot more of personal booms as far as making this work actually with my family, with the communication with my mom, helping my mom and my younger sister communicate better, and so much more things as far as improving my life, my life quality. As it got further into I think it was week 5, I want to say it was week 5, Yeah, week 5. We got into a lot more intense, a lot more structure as far as the how. And we're given a lot of information. It is a lot, but it's so useful. And I actually was able to put it into practice. Now, that doesn't necessarily mean I found an influencer, because the influencers I found were not up to par with what I wanted. Now, it doesn't mean I couldn't have worked for them, and it doesn't mean that I couldn't apply my skill to them, because obviously I did apply them because they wanted me, but they weren't a good fit. So it is very clear that it is possible to get an influencer before you're done. I've seen plenty of sisters and brothers in the same season as myself said, I already closed an influencer. We never graduated yet. Okay. One of my friends that I made during the course, he actually just got an influencer, I think a couple days ago now. But about a week before our graduation class. So roughly after week 6. And it is one of those high ticket influencers, one of those influencers that have those major packages, and I'm so proud of him. And just seeing them are just amazing, just amazing. Now, I don't really do this kind of thing. This is actually my first time, because when I was looking online, I didn't even know who Dan Lok was. Never seen a video, nothing. So I had to do my research, and I seen that everywhere he said he was, he was. There's a whole lot of people who talk great and bad things about him. But the one thing I've noticed is no matter where you are in life, somebody's going to complain about you. Somewhere, somehow. And that's one thing I'm having to work on, because as the more success comes in, the more I get. But nowadays I say thank you to them, because they're telling me I'm on the right track, so I'm good. But I didn't really have any other programs besides college. And even with college, I mean, this is more practical skills than college, to be just frank. Because I took the bachelor's of legal studies and learning how to be a paralegal, and all of that information only applies to one small area of life. This I've been applying everywhere I can find, talking to random people, talking to my family, even people in line at my second job, which I was actually able to quit during the course, so that was fun. But that doesn't mean I also haven't tried my own ventures of getting income. Okay. For those of you who might know, I used to be an Avon representative. Now, I had problems with it because I was very shy. I didn't like going up to people randomly going, hi, do you want to hear about this? Do you? And I was just so nervous with it, I actually ended up quitting it. For those of you who don't know what Avon is, it's kind of like Mary Kay. Those people who go out and try to sell makeup, jewelry, clothing, those kind of things. Now, I will say one of the big contributing facts is how supportive everybody in the community is. They never make you feel bad. And the best part is that even if somebody does by accident, it's very clear that they never even meant to. I mean, there's not even a lot of times that happens, to be honest. That might have happened once to me, maybe. And that was just pure interpretation. That was purely it, because, with things over text, it's bound to happen. At least just once. But nobody here is against you. Everybody here is helping you. Everybody wants to see you succeed. Desmond, Soon, Tina Leader, they are part of the administrative. They're interacting. Dan Lok himself interacts. It's not always like a abundant amount of what he's able to contribute. But if you have a question, you know, either himself or one of the main leaders will be able to answer it for you, so you're never left hanging. Plus, you can always ask your fellow brothers and sisters, including myself, because I will be there, to help you along your way. Now, as I said before, I was kind of skeptical on this, because it's like, how can you make six-figure income in less than maybe even 6 months? And when I thought about it, I was like, I'm willing to invest $47,000 or more into college, but not into a course that can help me. Now, it's not $47,000 because I can't pull that out of my butt at one shot. But at the same time, when I started, $2,500 was pretty steep. Okay, it's pretty steep for me, and I really had to take into consideration that if this could do 1/3 of what most of the testimonials are telling me, that's worth it to me. Because then I get not only money value, I can get personal value, and it has done that and more. Now, knowing that the course is $2,500, knowing that now, from where I started, it should be probably higher. It should be at least $5,000. It really should. Because this information that you get is dangerously good. Okay? And there is, like, that would be a totally justifiable amount. And he may increase it, okay? Because this is actually a pretty cheap price for what he's giving you, knowing how dangerous you can be in getting that income, which in this case, it's a good thing. So, but where am I at? I'm sure you're like, oh, you're just, you know, talking from a script and all this, blah, blah, blah. No, not really. I have no script in front of me. I wish I kind of did. But I'm already on the verge of landing a few influencers myself. And did I get an influencer yet? No. But that's because I'm doing HTC, I'm doing my work, I'm also, you know, making sure my mindset is there, learning the techniques before I also put a lot out there. And I'm putting a lot more value into the marketplace so they notice me, versus just trying to basically say, oh, I'm the perfect candidate because of this. Oh, I'm the perfect candidate before that. Because that's not going to exactly get you to where you want to go. But of course, Seafood Dan Lok tells you a whole lot more about why. But I'd have to say this. If you got into this point in my video and you are still thinking about joining HTC, my question to you is, what do you have to lose? What do you have to lose? You have $2,500 that you have to put down. Okay. But even if your quality of life went up, isn't that worth it? To me, it was. And why not make money doing it? If you can sit home in your PJs even, I don't recommend it just because you gotta feel the part, but you could be at home, relaxing, doing work, getting $10K a month easy. And who knows? Maybe if you had a lot, if you work very hard, you'll be even able to work with Seafood Dan Lok. That's been my goal since very, very beginning, is to work specifically with Seafood Dan Lok. I don't know if it's going to happen, but I'm doing a damn sure make sure I get it to happen, one way or another. Hopefully this helped as far as helping you really figure the value to yourself. Before I go, I'm sure you're still thinking, but sounds great and all, you know, I've seen so many testimonials. I don't have the money. to be a high-ticket closer, you need to be resourceful in how you get everywhere, placement, and get anything you want. How resourceful are you? Hope to see you in the community.